Well, we used to be a member of another car club, and we didn't like the way things were being run or the way the car community was going. So I founded Blood, Sweat, and Gears Car Club in 2018. And then the garage you founded in 2022 with the same name.
Correct. 2022 started the LLC, went shopping for a shop or a building, and then we ended up opening February of 24.
In the Mustang Club, prior to Blood, Sweat, and Gears, we met. We were both members. I made a very stupid decision when I went on vacation one weekend. I'll let Jose tell you.
Yeah, so we were in the meeting, and Shawn says, yeah, I'm going to the beach for a week, and I don't want to park my car inside a garage and let it sit there for a week. I'd rather it be driven. And so, I took that, and it's like, okay, that's kind of weird, but
we've known each other like a couple weeks at this point. This is not like we were friends.
And so all of a sudden, I'm literally driving home in my truck, and I was like, I called him back. You're not kidding, are you? He goes, nope. So I turned around halfway home, came back. It's like, hey, you only get an opportunity once.
Well, I think some people have to learn, like the guy behind the camera. If I tell you something when you first meet me, it's kind of hard to gauge whether or not I'm kidding.
Yep.
Y'all a lot of times think I'm playing when I'm not. And I know it seems weird for somebody to hand you an $80,000 car. Here's the keys. I'm leaving for a week, but It happens.
So yeah, so I came back. I picked up the car.
That's not an open invite to everybody else, just so we're aware. Nobody else is just driving my cars.
So I came back, and it was almost new at the time. So I came back, and I picked up the car, and I drove it to work for a week. And one of the funnest things was I backed it up to the shop or the building where we were at, and I had remote started. And I remote started one day when we were finishing up a meeting, and that thing just bounced off the glass, and everybody was staring out the window.
Yeah, I think the car had less than 2,000 miles on it when I went on vacation. I wasn't taking my new car on vacation. I was taking the family car. That is Vanessa. Vanessa is a 2017 Roush Stage 1 with a fully built motor, engine, and she puts a little horsepower to the ground for a 4-cylinder. And she is a real Roush. She's custom built and custom ordered. She became Vanessa. There's an old Ford commercial about a blue Mustang, which most people don't even realize exists. And Vanessa was the other woman in the commercial the whole time, and then it turns out that Vanessa wound up being a blue Mustang that the guy had bought. So that's where she got her name from. I started the car club for a couple reasons. The main one was the car community was being taken advantage of badly. Members would have to pay dues to be a member of the car club, and you'd get a vote. But if you got 50 people voting on something, you're never going to come to an agreement. Secondly, the charity money would, a lot of times, they would get 10% to 25% of the gate, and the rest of the money would go to administrative fees and things like that. And the car guys were being charged to bring their cars into the car shows. So the car guys are paying dues, they're paying at the gate. All the burden of the cost is being put on the car guys, and they're the attraction. I started it because we've never charged for a show. We normally do, thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars for the donation every time, and 100% of the proceeds go to the charity. And we found that when the car guys are given the option to not pay to bring their car, the guys who can't afford the entry fee still bring their car. The guys who can still donate 10 times what they would have if you would have forced them. So we fixed a lot of the car things, and we're not held hostage by the sponsors anymore. The sponsors pay for the show. They don't dictate the show to us anymore. We now determine that we're going to bring the cars, we're going to bring the show, and we don't mind you guys making money. But there's money going to the charity, and the charity's the reason we're here. Not for you to make money, but for the charity to make money. That's why we started the car club.
Yeah, so my recollection of how the club got started, I was driving the family up to the in-laws in South Carolina, and I get I see the text. I didn't get a phone call. I see the text that somebody resigned from their position in the club, and I was like, hell no. I started making phone calls. I called Bill. I was talking to Bill. I think I called 3 other previous presidents of the club, because I was president of the club at the time. And it's like, hell no, he can't do that. That's not accepted. And then I finally called Shawn.
And I told you what the same issues that
Yep.
every one of the previous presidents told you.
And everybody, all the previous presidents backed up the same thing.
I was just the only one with the sack to lay it on the table and go, you know what? We're done doing this shit over
Yep.
and over and over. We're either going to fix it or we're going to destroy it. One of the two.
And guess what? We haven't looked back on that one either.
We're probably the most successful car club in the area.
Because I was fed up with my job and needed something new to do. So, I mean, fixing cars has always been my passion. I've worked on other people's cars. Also for the club, one of the things I was doing was, doing shop repair days where people could come and learn about fixing their cars and how to work on their cars. So that just kept rolling and rolling into it, and haven't looked back since.
And we do still run some of those out of our garages on occasion when one of the teenagers or younger people in our club, they can't afford to take their car to the shop. So a lot of times we'll bring them on a weekend. If they've helped us repair one of our cars, we will show them how to repair theirs. All they have to pay for is parts, and we help them and teach them how to do it. The 3 mechanics at this shop that work here besides us have all grown up with us and been trained, and they know how to work on cars, and they're in their early 20s.
And they like to work on old cars. So
the people that we have, we do it differently. I mean, honestly, it's us, it's our background, it's what we do. We both come from a very different background. Jose, you want to give your background first, and then I'll give mine?
So I'm a mechanical engineer by background. And I've always spent my life trying to fix things so they don't break again. And that's one of the goals here is I want to fix your car for that problem and not come back for that issue. That way it'll bring you back and it'll bring your friends back.
Yeah. We both have engineering degrees from Georgia Tech as well. Jose's specialty's in mechanical, mine is in computer engineering. So most modern cars, you can't operate them without a computer, so it's probably good to have somebody who understands ones and zeros on the back end of it as well. Along with anything mechanical that goes wrong with one, we can fix the digital side, the mechanical side, or anything in between. And we don't have an age limit on cars like a lot of shops do. Most shops won't work on anything older than 2000. If you're looking around the shop, you can tell we will touch it all.
Mine was a 1979 Toyota Corolla station wagon, blue with a 5-speed. And the way we picked it up, that's a cool story. So the way we picked that up is, I can't remember the name of the audio shop, but there was an audio shop, and the station wagon was parked out front, and we just put a note on the window. It wasn't for sale. We just put a note on the window. And sure enough, the guy calls us back like 2 days later and says, as a matter of fact, I've ordered a car. It's coming in, and I do have to sell it. So we ended up buying that Toyota station wagon.
Yeah. My first one was an odd one, and one I've never been able to find again. I had a 1987 Formula 350 Firebird. Was my very first car. Don't look at me all weird. I didn't grow up in a rich house. I grew up in a double-wide trailer, so just to be clear. My uncle had the car. He totaled it going across 6 lanes of traffic. We bought it back out of salvage. My stepfather and I spent 2 summers repairing and putting the car back together from scratch. And that was my first car.
My first project car was my 1966 Mustang Fastback. So I bought it out in Mississippi when I was working and living out there. And I drove it home to Atlanta from Mississippi. Don't ask me how that car made it. The tires were dry rotted. It was dropping a valve, which we didn't know till I did a leak down test. And every time I rotate the motor, you hear it click. Rotate it, click. Then come to find out, the reason was they put the wrong rocker arms on the wrong valves, and it was unlocking the freaking valve every time it rotated. So how I made it from Jackson, Mississippi to Atlanta without losing the engine, I don't know. But then that car became my first project car, and that's one we should interview my wife for.
You want to get divorced?
because that became, I wanted to, so at that point, it was an automatic car, and I wanted to convert it to a 5-speed. So I got me a roller motor, and I wanted to do a 5-speed conversion. We went to buy a set of pedals from Melvin's Classic Ford Parts, and started talking to the guy, and it turns out they had all the parts for the conversion. So 4 hours later, in a $1,500 bill, we'd gone down the whole catalog and bought all the conversion parts.
Yeah. No, I guess the Foreman 350 would have been the first project car for me, but I don't know that I've ever owned many cars that weren't a project car.
Yeah. An old 1978 CJ5. It came in, and it probably shouldn't have been a project car. It's been back 3 times to continue the mechanical refresh on it.
That one should have been a full restoration.
That one should have been a full restoration, and we don't do restorations. But the good thing is it hasn't been back in like 4 months. So we went down the list and fixed all the, like we always do. Start out with brakes, fuel system, and then from there, you know, all the rest of the important stuff.
Favorite one? Mine would probably be the Buick, the 1970 Buick that was in here, the orange one.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was just perfect, front to back. I mean, he was only paying us because he wanted a different, what was it, the
Torque
clutch?
converter.
Was it the torque converter? Yeah. He just wanted a different torque converter in there to change the feel of the car. But, I mean, you could have eaten off the frame of that car. It was gorgeous. We also, the other one I like working on is the TCBY truck when it's in here. So the actual little, was that 51?
51, 52 Chevy pickup truck.
Converted to an ice cream truck.
Converted to an ice cream truck.
So. Don't. I mean, you said advice. That's good advice. Bad advice? Do your research and get ready to spend whatever you're going to spend, double it. Whatever you think you're going to spend to do it, double it, because that's what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
It's every car we've ever gotten into. You don't make your money on a car, and you don't plan your car based on what it's going to sell for at the end. You make your money on the front end. You got to get that car as cheap as possible if it's going to be a project, because you're going to be pouring money in it. You know this because you're driving one.
The other word of advice is to buy the best you can. Because even if you buy the best car from the auction site or wherever, you're still going to have to spend the money to have it fixed. There's always going to be something broken with an old car. Doesn't matter how pretty she looks or how good she was done, they're always going to need work.
Anybody that labels one mechanic special, avoid it like the plague. It ran when it parked. You avoid that. And if somebody tells you when the last time it ran was, first thing you do is go look at the tag on the plate. Look at that tag, and it'll tell you the last time it really ran, because I guarantee you they were off by a decade.
Oh, yeah, that's another word of advice, right? Don't buy a car from a mechanic.
One of our things around here is, and we have to remind each other all the time, all customers lie, intentional or unintentional. Omitting facts is still lying. You don't know what's wrong with your car. That's why you brought it to us. We're here to fix it. We figured out that we've got to do the diag. We can't let the customer tell us what's wrong with the car.
Nope.
We have to do it ourselves and verify it, because you'd be surprised how many times you think it's a $1,200 issue and it's simply an O-ring. You'll be much gladder that you're much more happy that we went ahead and just did the diag for you. Well, the one sitting behind me is a 1 of 1, so as far as rare goes, there's a 77 up there that's got 16,000 original miles on it as a Mustang. So that one's pretty rare.
A unique car. We had a 1955 Packard Caribbean in here, pink and white, that we got running and put it back on the road.
Yeah, that was the 400, the Packard.
I don't remember.
Pretty sure it was the 400 with the auto leveling system, and it was very odd, but a very beautiful car. We get a lot of rare vehicles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another mint car we had was that 67 442.
What year's Dave's Bronco? 64?
Yes.
It's first year, right? 64.
Yeah, 64.
So as far as most valuable vehicle, the one that's here, and y'all can get a shot of it before you leave, is the 64 Bronco out front. That's probably a $130,000 Bronco.
Restored to original.
I mean, and it is perfect. frame
Oh,
off
what-
restoration. We've seen that one from day one to where it's at now.
Right, and one of the things to take a good shot at is those hubcaps. The hubcaps on that thing are rare to find in the condition they are and for that.
We've had to turn away several that were too far gone to bother with repairs. And we've actually had to turn away a couple because we've had to tell the customers where this thing's not worth half, the repair is more than half the value of your car. I'm not going to recommend you repair it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if something's got a rusted out frame rail or something's a safety concern, we're not going to risk ourselves under these lifts and we're not going to put the customer at risk. So when it's a safety concern, yes, we will turn you away. I've had one customer who was a jerk that I've actually fired. So if you want to say refuse service to somebody, I've had one of those too.
Oh, I had to fire a customer before they even got here because they wanted to dictate the cost, they wanted to dictate no diagnosis, and they wanted to dictate the timing that it had to be in after 9 o'clock and out before 2:30.
We're not here to be the fastest. We're here to fix the problem.
Yeah.
The one I've bid on twice and been outbid on.
Yeah, and I want the first generation, 2005 Ford GT, blue with white stripes.
I want a 2017 Ford GT lightning blue to match my Roush, and I've already bid on two of them and been outbid twice.